Yo, what's
Oh,
up, y'all?
Coach Mo, didn't know you were working today.
Man, I work every day, 25/8, not 24/7. Y'all come on, welcome to the dojo.
All right, 22 questions with Aussie.
22 questions.
So how long you been coaching for?
I'd say about 10 years, man. It's been a journey, but I was kind of groomed to do this, whether I knew it or not. I started in the gym when I was 9. Trainer always told me to help people out. That was always my goal. Officially, I'd say I'd be training about, let's say, 10 years.
Right on. What does IAFE stand for?
I know people probably wouldn't know this, but it ain't for everybody. And it's not just a gym thing, it's a life thing. You know, sometimes success isn't for everybody. Hard work isn't for everybody. And I think it's a motivational term that I've been saying since I was in college.
And then when did it start?
I'd say back in 2000 and officially back in 2000 and let's say 13. But other than that, I mean, I've been living it my whole life. I just finally found the words to put to the motivation that I use every day to wake up.
What sports did you play growing up?
Football, basketball, a little bit of baseball, too boring for me. Sorry, baseball fans. Soccer was the beginning sport for me just to get me going, but football and basketball, love of my life.
What inspired you to become a coach?
I'd have to say sports. I mean, when I left the game, I had to find a way to stay attached to what I was doing. And like I said, since I was 9, I was kind of groomed to do this. And I couldn't get away from the gym even if I wanted to. I was unfortunate enough to not have the opportunity to go to the NFL, but I still feel like I am, since I do have a couple guys, and I'm not going to drop no names, but I got a couple guys that train with me as we speak that allow me to stay attached to the game.
If you are what you eat, what are you?
If anybody knows me knows, and I know it sucks to say this as a trainer, but I'm a Reese's guy. Man, I have at least 2 Reese's every night, so I guess I'm a big Reese's. Let's just say that. I'm filled with peanut butter and covered in chocolate on the outside.
Name a person that has impacted your coaching.
Man, that's a big one. I have to say my man, Greg Washington. Greg Washington is the trainer that I grew up with since I was 9 years old. He kind of grew me not only as an athlete, but as a young man. And he put me in positions to where I didn't know at the time, but I was becoming the leader that I am today, which allowed me to become the coach and the trainer that you all know.
How would you describe your coaching style?
I've been called a Swiss Army knife before, and the only reason I say that is just because I've never wanted to lock myself down and to be in one coaching style, to be in one training style. One way I'm going to do this, one way I'm going to do that. I do have something that we call the Gainz way, but the Gainz way is a multitude of ways that we get things done that's catered to all my clients and their needs.
What kind of athletes do you train?
All types, man. I got 5-year-olds to 60-year-olds, high-level athletes, NFL, NBA, MLB, CrossFit, lacrosse. I mean, it's kind of a crazy the range of people that I have come through here. But I love that because it challenged me daily to pick up where I left off as far as being an athlete and being a non-athlete. It's important to know both lifestyles.
So you answered my next question, what age ranges? So anywhere from 5 to 60.
5 to 60, man. The youngest I've had is 5. The oldest I've had is around 60.
And how many athletes do you train in a day?
I'd say on average, including my lacrosse teams, because that's a big number, I'll say probably around 60 to 70 a day that
Wow.
went through here traffic-wise, and then off-site, about 60 to 70 athletes.
Where do you summon your energy?
I gotta say God, man, because he gives me the power to deal with all the different personalities that I deal with here. But I mean, I love what I do. I don't consider this work. I mean, some clients are trying here and there, but to be honest with you, I just love this. Like, to be out here, to be outdoors, to be able to create a space that allows athletes to come in and challenge themselves daily, that's all I need.
So you've been using that Aussie Pro Runner. How do you use it in your practice?
It's pretty crazy, not gonna lie. I use it on a daily basis, and every client, when they come in here, whether it's a warm-up, whether it's cardio, whether it's just the finisher, we finish him, the finisher, I use it no matter what. Like, I kid you not, it's something that has become vital to my training.
What's the average length an athlete spends on the Aussie?
Man, that's a tough one. I think the longest somebody will last on there, I say maybe about 20 minutes. I say 20 minutes. I'm not gonna give anybody no more than that because I'm not gonna let them beat me. I'm about 25 minutes.
What are the main benefits of the Aussie for your students?
Cardio, strength, endurance. Strength endurance is really big for me. I use it to be honest, as a trainer, it isn't really the physical aspect for me. I like to build heart and character through workouts, which is what we do. Strength and confidence through workouts. And I think this is one of those, either break them or make them. And honestly, it breaks me a lot of people, but it makes them too, like, after a while.
Which type of athletes love the Aussie and which ones dread it?
I say the athletes that have that competitive mindset where it's like, let me just finish, I gotta get through it, it's gonna make me better. The ones that don't like it are the ones that just, they don't have much heart. They they kind of don't like cardio to begin with, but I tell them it's always better to run on something stationary than to run miles away, because then they got to run all the way back.
What sort of resistance exercise workouts have you been doing with the Aussie?
Oh, a ton. So we do a lot of things like pushing the sled, crossover walks, crossover sprints, shuffles. Sprint intervals is really big a lot for my guys, because a lot of guys like to practice the way that they would actually play in a game. So we're talking like sprint 10 seconds, rest 20 seconds, sprint 10 seconds, rest 20 seconds, which simulates the same thing that they would do in actual game atmosphere.
What are your top 3 tips for different exercises you do?
I say change it up. I think it's really big to do things on high resistance as well as low resistance, just to give your athlete that chance to breathe. We call it active rest. So if I'm going to push something on high resistance, then I also like to do a jog on low resistance. Not necessarily stopping, but actually still moving, keeping that heart rate up. Really big on that, huge on that.
What advice do you have for young kids out there?
Keep pushing, man. No matter what, find the motivation that you need, because everybody is different. And you just got to remember, success ain't for everybody. You cannot get to where you want to be without putting in the work. It's impossible.
Any coach advice for other coaches out there?
Cater to your kids' needs and clients' needs. Not everybody is the same. Don't treat everybody the same when it comes to workouts, but do treat them the same as far as their goals and their needs. I think it's really big that coaches nowadays actually treat clients like more than just a session, a number, or money.
What's your life motto?
It ain't for everybody, baby. I have to. Come on, IAFE all day. Coach Mo Gainz here.
What's next for Coach Mo?
You guys are gonna have to stay tuned for that. Stay tuned, follow up, MO_Gainz14, follow up. I'll let you guys know within the next couple of months.
Right on. Cheers, Mo. All right, so show me a typical workout on the Aussie that you're doing.
All right, typically for our workout here on the Aussie Pro, especially for somebody like Haley, this is Haley, everybody. She has just entered the Fire Academy. It's like I was saying earlier, we go from heavy resistance to light resistance. So what she's gonna do, she's gonna put that crank on 7, she's gonna do a crossover walk for 15 seconds. Big deal for me here is to stay nice and low, make sure the glutes stay active. She's staying on the balls of her feet, because as athletes, that's what we're always doing. We're never on our heels. She's gonna push out, she's gonna flip for 15 seconds. When she's done with this 15 seconds, we're gonna do a sled push. So she's gonna turn straight, she's gonna put her hands nice and low, and she's really gonna dig in for another 15 seconds for the sled push. Make sure she stays on the balls of her feet. Her core is always engaged, nice and tight. She's extending that leg out, using that glute and that hamstring. When she's done here, she's gonna crank that thing down to 2. She's gonna stand up nice and tall, and she's gonna get a nice stride in for 30 seconds. It's really important to stay nice and tall up on this treadmill, because when you fall back, you lose resistance. The faster you go, the better we are. And that's like, that's light. Usually we go for like longer, but we're just giving y'all an example. A little small taste appetizer for that.
Right on. Thanks, Haley.